Hi there, everybody. You're traveling with me, Jack, and of course, as always, with my beautiful heavenly wife, Pam. And a quick shout out to the now over 4,000 subscribers to this channel. No, in the YouTube world, that's a drop in the bucket. But in our little world of Jack and Pam, that's truly amazing. I can remember when we first started this channel not that long ago, we thought, wouldn't it be amazing if 100 people subscribed to our channel? And to think now that 4,000 actually subscribed. I actually worked at some of the early in my television career, some small television stations that we would have loved to have had 4,000 people watching at any given time. But again, we certainly do thank you. But of course, you have tuned into this to hear about weather. And I know a little bit about weather. You know, I was a meteorologist for television for over 25 years. And now I do talk show stuff. But I also do this YouTube channel. And so you've come to the channel because I said best weather in America. And I am living where, in my humble opinion, we have the best weather in America. Yeah, I'm in what's called the Valley of the Sun, the Phoenix, Arizona area. And right now I'm out on one of our beautiful trails in the Sonoran Desert. Now, most people, though, when they think about Phoenix and they think about weather, they immediately go, oh, I'd never live in that godforsaken desert. It's always hot. People are burning up out there all the time. Well, you know what? Every part of the country has good weather days and they have bad weather days. What I tend to look at, though, is where do we have the most good weather days? And I'm going to tell you, we have lived from coast to coast. Pam and I, we lived in New York, we lived in Florida, we lived in Texas, we lived in Oregon, California, and now I'm here in Arizona. Now, granted, the central coast of California, Santa Barbara County in particular, pretty hard to top that weather. But very few can afford these days to live in Santa Barbara, California. And yeah, there are some who say, well, there's very few that can afford the Phoenix area, but you can still find some deals here, and that's why I'm here. But let's talk about that weather, and first of all, the misconception about the heat. First of all, it's a dry heat. Yeah, I know you're laughing. You've heard that one 100 times. It really does make a difference. And I know a little bit about that, having lived in Florida and grown up in the Southeast. When you add humidity to a high temperature, say in the upper 80s and lower 90s, it's incredibly oppressive. You just can't you never seem to be able to cool off. And you feel like you need about 10 showers a day. Dry heat, trust me, and I've had friends who've visited here who have never been to this part of the world, and they all say the same thing. I can't believe it's 105. It doesn't feel as hot as it does back home where it's 88 degrees right now. Well, again, you take out that humidity. Now let's talk about those hot temperatures, okay? First of all, starting in October and continuing through May, we have absolutely delightful weather here. You like cool weather? December's highs are just in the upper 60s. That's our coolest month. And at night it can get chilly. You may have to turn on the heat every now and then. It can drop down 30s and 40s. And we've had freezing temperatures in the Phoenix area. I know you're going, really? Yeah, we have. Dry air also cools down rather quickly as well. Now in October, our daytime highs, this is October right now, are generally going to be in the 70s and 80s. Really, really nice. And the nights cool off into the 50s. Then as we head towards November, those highs are backing down in the 70s. And then we're in the 60s, as I mentioned, for December. January starts to nudge up again into the lower 70s. February keeps going up, 70s. March, we're hitting the 80s. April, we're in the mid and high 80s. And by May, we're going to start hitting the 90s. But it's kind of rare to get a lot of 100-degree days in May. Now, once you get to June, July, August, and September, 4 months, you're going to have days it's going to be over 100 degrees. But again, at night, it's going to cool off. At least some nights. Because I know there are going to be nights it remains pretty warm. It doesn't get down below 90. But again, think about it. Even at 90 degrees at night, no humidity, it's still pretty darn comfortable. But those highs, again, in the hundreds. Now, we will average, around 100-degree days. That's out of 365. So that means 265 days, you're below 100 degrees, and on most days, you're enjoying bright, beautiful sunshine like we're experiencing today. Now, sprinkled in on that, we get some rain from time to time. Even in the wintertime, we'll have a front come in from California, It brings some rain, but what it also does, it brings snow to our mountaintops. Yeah, even mountains like that, just outside of Phoenix, you'll get a little covering of snow, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And of course, in the summertime, you've heard about, we get the monsoon season. Comes about, July, August, maybe into early September. Get these rain, these big old thunderstorms, and yeah, then we get some humidity and it starts to feel a little bit yucky. But it's going to be short-lived. Another thing, though, about even the high temperature months in the middle of the summertime, the deal is you could get in the car and drive about 60, 65 miles into higher elevation areas like Payson, Arizona, Prescott. You want to get really even cooler, you drive 2 hours up to Flagstaff, it may be as much as 30 degrees cooler there. And that's the difference. If you're living in a high heat and humidity area, say in the southeast, say you're in Montgomery, Alabama, you drive an hour or two in any direction, it's still going to be hot and humid. So here you've got the beauty of, that old saying, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, if you can't stand the heat in the valley, get out of the valley, head to the hills. That's a nice benefit, I'm going to tell you. Now, also, too, people always talk about heat-related deaths, and that's a serious issue. But you can look it up. More people die, though, from cold weather type events and injuries and exposure than they do to the heat. And here in Phoenix, they're good about having cooling centers and getting the word out for those that may need help with cooling as well. So we know how to handle the heat. And that's the other thing. People who live in the desert, they'll tell you, yeah, it gets hot in the summertime. It is a desert after all. But all in all, I'm going to tell you, this weather, once we get to this time of year, you start to be reminded, oh my gosh, that's why all those snowbirds come here. Oh yeah, 1 million or more come here. And they come to roost around Thanksgiving through Easter. So we get to what we call our shoulder months outside of those holiday times where it's not going to be as crowded. But the cool part about Arizona is, even if it gets crowded in the city, unlike Florida where it's bumper to bumper up and down 41 and 75 and 95 and things like that, you can come out to areas like this and really get away from it all. So that's kind of my pitch for what I think is the best weather in America to be found here in Arizona and in the Phoenix area. And did I mention too, if you like really deep snow, Flagstaff I mentioned in the wintertime, oh yeah, they get it by the feet, not by the inches, by the feet. So you can go up there, get your fill of snow, do some snow skiing, things like that, and then come back to Phoenix in the afternoon and maybe sit by the pool. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. And of course in California, if you want to go to California, it's not that far off in that direction. I can be at the Pacific Coast in San Diego, depending on traffic, around 5.5 hours. That's not half bad either, is it? So yeah, I'm a big proponent of weather here in the Phoenix area. And being a meteorologist, I kind of keep on track of those things. We also don't have really big severe, we don't have hurricanes. We'll get some flooding occasionally from time to time. Here in Phoenix, though, no hurricanes. For the most part, no tornadoes. So there might be a rare one. It's just not bad. Oh, yeah. I know you've heard about, what about those big old dust storms? Yeah, that's a once-a-year event, maybe twice a year, maybe more, but we get over it. But take a look again. Look at that, out that direction. Now, we're getting ready, heading towards sunset. Man, oh man, I'm going to tell you, those sunsets never get old. And these trails never get old. So again, next time somebody talks to you about Phoenix and you go, it is way too hot out there, you can say, nah, wait. Jack was telling me they got about 8, maybe even close to 9 months of really perfect weather. That's just one guy's opinion. I guarantee you in the comments section, we're going to have a fight break out about the weather here in Phoenix. And then there's going to be a lot of native Phoenicians saying, quit telling people about it. We're all full. We don't need any more. And of course, a lot of them too said, don't Californiaize Arizona. I'm not getting into all that mess. All I'm saying is, I like it here. Maybe you would like it here. I've kind of given you the lowdown on what the weather's like. Hey, and back to that heat too. We got this thing called air conditioning. You can go in air conditioning. Also, covered parking everywhere. Kind of holds down the heat in your car even when you go into the stores and things. Most apartment communities, condo communities, they've got covered areas for the parking as well. So they think this stuff through, okay? People have been out here for a long, long time. They figured out how to survive and thrive as well. Hey, I really appreciate all you girls and guys watching here. Keep subscribing, give it a thumbs up, love your comments, share it if you will. There's also a little donate link. You got to look for it. Don't push it. No obligation. Don't forget to, I've got that podcast on grief called Love Letters to Pam. And in the meantime, have a great day. Better yet, a better tomorrow. And stick around. Pam's got a little message for you.
Hi everyone, this is Pam, and guess who? Behind the camera.
That's right, Pam. I'm running the camera for you because you've got a special message.
I do. I would like for everyone to go to YouTube, if you've not already, and subscribe to our page, Traveling with Jack and Pam. We have so much fun going places and showing you these videos, and just would love for you to subscribe to us. So go do it right now.